Howdy, 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 my beautiful Gemini. How are you doing today, darling? My name is SimplyVelca, and today we're going to be getting into your weekly tarot reading, Gemini, for December 2022. So if you do enjoy this tarot reading today, let me know in the comments below how this tarot reading helps you out, because that's how I keep up with you, my beautiful Gemini, is through the comments, of course, darling. All right, so as well, my darling. All right, Gemini, if you do enjoy this tarot reading, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe. It's the best way to support me, and it's completely for free as well. All right, I sounded so serious there, Gemini. But as well, my darling, if you do enjoy my tarot reading, check out your sun, moon, and your rising sign, Gemini. All right, you wouldn't base your entire life off of your one zodiac sign. When it comes to astrology, your tarot readings on YouTube or whatever platform you use is no difference, darling. All right, so let's just get right into this here, Gemini. I like where this energy is. Back of the deck is the Sun card. We'll talk about this in a moment, but this is really, really good. It's the best card in the tarot deck, but we'll get into this in a moment. I want to talk about these first three cards that I pulled for you, Gemini. So you have the Moon, the Knight of Wands, and the Messenger card coming in here. All right, and the Messenger card in this deck is the Hierophant, I believe. In this deck, it is. I say I believe it is. And so with this type of energy here, Gemini, I like this a lot. I will be saying be expecting communication from some type of it's either someone that has strong fire sign in their chart or they're an extrovert. All right, the reason why I say this, Gemini, all right, because I know some of you guys are probably rolling your eyes and be like, oh gosh, is this another tarot reading talking about some type of love coming in and girl? No, first of all, no. If you know me, any is no. But when you see a court card as a tarot reader, court cards, knights, kings, queens, and so on, court cards usually represent people. Sometimes you can read it as that, and in this type of dynamic I do read it as that, if I say so myself. And then when you connect it with the Messenger card, all right, in this sense here, especially in this card, in this one in specific here, the Messenger is the type of way here, it's communication, right? And then the Moon card coming in here as well, this is energy that's going on beneath the surface, right? Something that you're not quite aware about. So you put this all together here, some type of Knight of Wands is about to be warming themselves up to connect to you. That sounds weird, warming themselves up, amping themselves up, Gemini, to connect to you. And because, keep note of this Moon energy, right? Because I didn't even know this ahead of time, like, I just now made the correlation, but remember how I said we had the Sun card here, my beautiful Gemini. All right, we had the Sun card in the back of the deck, and so the Sun card is the opposite of the Moon, right? Hello. But it talks about like clarity, abundance, like things coming, like it's like receiving news, receiving information that just really makes your day, right? And so how you just add this all up, because as I always say, Gemini, I kind of see tarot as like a puzzle. As you add this all up, even without me trying, it's some type of social connection wanting to communicate with you in the coming days, and something that you should be anticipating. It's not someone that you know, or if it is someone that you know, it's not someone that you would anticipate because of that Moon guise, right? And so I like this energy a lot. Now, I also will preface this, and my regular Geminis can attest by this in the comments. This is where you back me up, my friends. But I usually don't talk about love, all right? When it comes to relationships in your life, I know we're so used to hearing romantic relationship readings on YouTube and wherever, but you have more, you can love more than just a romantic relationship, right? You have more than just romantic relationships in your life. You have friendships, work relationships, family and stuff like that. And so I'm not saying that you're gonna have some unexpected family member popping up and you're knocking on your door like in the soap operas. What I am telling you, darling, is keep an open mind. Even if you are not looking for love, it could be love in the sense of just finding like your soulmate. This would be the soulmate card. Again, my regular Geminis can vouch for me that I don't like to use the word soulmate and twin flames, because that's a very personal thing. A tarot reader is not going to be able to tell you something that you would be feeling in your soul. But as a tarot reader as well, Four of Wands, that's a card that people would consider this like a soulmate card, because it can represent marriage, right? If you look at the illustration of it, it can represent marriage, it represents partnership. And I always like to say that the Four of Wands only shows up in your path when you are, it's like waypoints or checkpoints. At least I see that as in your life, as you go through your life journey, where those checkpoints, you're going to hit them one way or another, whether it's now or 5 years from now. There's certain things that you're going to have happen in your life, or at least I believe that anyways. You may not, but this leads me to believe where it's like this person was going to cross your path one way or another here. So let's continue on delving into this. We have the Eight of Wands. This is a card of quick movement, all right? Also, just another card that is talking about my beautiful Gemini, fire energy, right? You have the sun, you have the 4 and the 8 of wands here with that knight of wands, right? So it's a really fiery, extroverted, passionate energy, right? So you're obviously not going to know this person's entire chart when you first talk to them, but you can get a pretty good idea of like if this person has a fiery personality, right? But I don't even think I finished my thought on this, Gemini. The 8 of Wands is a card of quick movement, traveling, closing off distance. You'll even see in the illustration of the card, Gemini, all right, if you put this in focus here, is that you'll see all these letters and it has the hearts on it as well. But there's more than just hearts. You see like the stamps and just what have you, right? So it's like messages, you know? So all of this is lining up so perfectly that you wouldn't normally read it in this type of way in specific, Gemini, if I used, you know, like the normal Rider-Waite Tarot illustrations, right? You know, it just wouldn't be that way. So it's like to pull these cards is very specific to this type of thing. So I'm telling you all this, Gemini, not to like gas up my own self or anything, but so you can, you know, my tarot readings are a collaborative process, right? When you do a puzzle, you know, you can solve the puzzle a lot quicker when you have everyone coming together and figuring out the pieces. So that's why I explain this, and so you understand like why I'm saying certain things, Gemini. So it's not you just hearing it's like, oh, love and what have you, right? But as well, Gemini, speaking of love, we have in the back of the deck afterwards the lovers. I just now noticed this when I look to the side. I promise you, right? We have the lovers. So do we need to talk about this too much deeper? All right. Now, again, the lovers can mean the literal sense of a romantic partner coming in, Gemini. All right. But it also, you know, I never like to just tell people it's just like just straight up romance, you know, unless it's a private one-on-one reading. It's impossible for me to just so confidently say, so yep, it's love, because it's just some y'all may not be interested in a relationship, but it is definitely some type of connection that you'll feel something deep with. All right, Gemini, you know, when you have like that close best friend and what have you. So that's the type of energy that I see with this here. This is such a fabulous puzzle to start with when it comes to your tarot reading, Gemini. But let's continue on with your weekly December tarot reading. See what is going to be manifesting for you for like your physical pursuits outside of relationships. All right, so first things first, we're gonna just talk about this, address the elephant in the room. It's a good elephant though. Address the elephant in the room. The 3 of Cups also is a social card, so even if I'm trying, while I'm still actively trying to just talk about more physical endeavors rather than just people, you're still having people popping up. So without a doubt, Gemini, someone's going to be crossing your path here that you're meant to be connecting with. But also, you know, because cups can represent more than just emotions. 3 of Cups by definition, Gemini, talks about victory, celebrating some good news that happened, which, by the way, goes in correlation with that 8 of Wands, right? Just from the imagery of it, again, just something for you to know. Then afterwards, you have the 7 of Pentacles coming in. And let's do one more. 7 of Pentacles, and then the 8 of Cups coming in here. Gemini, I feel like you're going to be welcoming in change in your life. Maybe you're deciding on moving or changing jobs. Like there's definitely some type of movement here through some positive news that happens. So let's just say, for example, you could read this in a way where it's just like you're working like at a gas station job, or staying at home with your parents to save up money. But then this really positive news comes in for you, Gemini, allowing for you to change gardens, allowing for you to move from that initial good news, right? So you can transition from living with your parents to wherever, or just, you know, so on and so forth. You get what I'm trying to express there with that. See if there's anything else before I move on from here, Gemini. But yeah, definitely it just seems like there's a lot of news that's just coming forward to you. It's like, Gemini, have you just been like sitting waiting to hear, like it feels like you put a lot of balls in different courts and you just been waiting to hear back from something, waiting to get anything from in return for all the efforts you put in. Let's continue on. Page of Cups. So Gemini, you're gonna get tired of me, but maybe you're not, but you're gonna get tired of me when I keep bringing up relationships. I promise you, go to any of my other tarot readings, I don't talk about relationships. I always make it a point to like talk about the personal journey. But Page of Cups, by definition, you can look it up yourself, Gemini, is the card that talks about new opportunity coming in, right? But also it talks about new people entering your life. So it's like, we can't escape this, Gemini. We can't move on from this. Like Spirit really wants you to know this. And then the next card I pulled is the Ace of Cups. Gemini, girl, boy, some of you, it's just like Do y'all understand all these synchronicities? This is literally the cup that the ace, like, do you see this? Y'all have a relationship coming in. Y'all have a new best friend coming in, soulmate, I don't care. Whatever you want to label it, darling. You have a new connection coming in. You have some really positive news coming in here. You have a lot that's going to be worth celebrating. December for you, Gemini, is a really insanely positive month for you overall. I know this is just a weekly tarot reading, but I can say this with some real confidence, honey. All right, so just leave it like that. This was pretty insane though. Like, it's kind of like, if I think on it T-log, it's just like, it just gives me like tingles, because it's so cool. It's so satisfying, Gemini, when a tarot reading just really hits that way. It just like, it gives you the goosebumps. It's crazy. So we're doing your oracle cards now, Gemini, which y'all got 3, which I normally don't do 3. But I feel like 3 is your all's number here, especially because you have the armadillo spirit, which is the number 3. And I usually pull cards in 3s anyway. So it's just like, for one, Gemini, your number this week is 3. Look the number up later in numerology to see how it resonates. But you have the bat spirit. A rebirth is assured for you. You have the moth spirit. This is pretty cool, actually. And by the way, 39 equals to 3 in numerology. You have the moth spirit, surrender now. All right. And then you have the armadillo spirit, setting healthy boundaries. All right. So are you guys going through like a major change when it comes to your social life? Have you finally like come into awareness, Gemini, of like, maybe you've raised your standards of people that you want in your life, or maybe you've become self-aware about certain behaviors that you don't want to welcome in or something like that? I don't know. But it's interesting to have these oracle cards. I feel like this is a time of where it's like, just, you can relax, Gemini. Everything's going according to plan. That's how I'd really summarize this reading for you. It's like, relax, girl, boy, everything's going everything's going according to plan. Don't overthink things right now. Like, everything's really happening on time and going accordingly. It's beautiful. So you guys get another couple cards here, Gemini. I'm really spoiling y'all today. So you have the first quarter moon in Cancer, pushing through your insecurities, and the last quarter moon in Taurus, being proud of yourself. Again, Gemini, I'm going to hold these up so y'all can actually focus in on it, but can we appreciate a Gemini, like how these are lining up? Like, this is crazy to me. Like, all your cards are just lining up so beautifully, and it's like being proud of yourself and releasing the girl, please come on, we don't need to talk about it. Anyways, I'm gonna just end this reading here. I feel like you get the point, my beautiful Gemini. So if you did enjoy this tarot reading and you got goosebumps like I am right now, because I'm geeking out, let me know in the comments below. And this was such a pleasure in doing this reading. And if you know a Gemini friend, darling, send them this tarot reading. Maybe they'll enjoy this as well. But I love you so much, darling, and I'll connect to you sometime in the near future. Bye, Gemini.